Welcome back to the #1 home improvement YouTube channel in the entire world. Today, we start installing these magnificent cabinets. In the last video, you saw how I painted this edge here, and it looks amazing. I should just go into business painting cars or painting something. I really do like it, especially when it comes out this good. What do you think? Does it look okay? I did it myself. Originally, this arch planned to come down like this, but then it was envisioned that this bar area would be all messed up. There would be limited seating, there would be this odd wall that comes out into the countertop. The countertop would have to have this big notch put in it, which would greatly increase the price and the complexity of building the countertop and the installation. So that's why it was decided to have the countertop go straight to the wall. This cabinet goes right up here. So this cabinet's literally coming down like here and then going in. Well, I'm just going to put it in for you so you know what the heck I've been puzzled about for the last several days. Before I get started, I want to go over the screws that I'll be using because I know there'll be a ton of questions about it. First thing, what are you going to use to screw the cabinets to the wall? I'm going to be using number 10, 3.5s. These are huge, heavy-duty construction screws, not wood screws. They do have a little chisel tip thingy at the front that helps them drill in. Self-tapping tip. That right there. Now, why did I have to go with 3.5s? These are 3.5s, right? 3.5s? Yes, about the right things. We have 3/4 inch backs to these cabinets. We have 1 inch thick plaster and lath. It fluctuates a little bit. And all of that before we hit the 2x4, the exterior framing. That's what this needs to bite into. So we needed that extra 1/2 inch to cover us, to get us in there. The number 10, that's the diameter. Usually number 8s would be just fine. If this was 1/2 inch drywall, I could just use a number 8, 3 inch and zip right in. That covers how we attach the cabinet to the wall. Finish washers. That's a finish washer. These are number 10 finish washers made for these screws. 1.5 inch face frames. How do you attach them together? I'll be using a clamping system. Some of you have seen it in the past. You pre-drill, countersink, and you put 2.5 inch screws to put the two cabinet faces together. I do not recommend the trim head screws. Those are those teeny tiny ones. They're very useful, but for this application, you want something with a fat head on it. Why do you want a fat head? It's because you want something that's going to grab this face frame really tight and pull it into this face frame. Get them sucked together. Those tiny little heads that come on those trim screws, I think that's what they're called, they don't have any sort of gripping power. They'll just screw right straight through it. I've got my laser level set up on this tripod on top of the oven. Why on top of the oven? The legs aren't long enough to get it up high enough. Tape measure. All the cabinet face frames are exactly 40 inches. What I'm going to do is find the lowest point of the ceiling and measure down. And I already know where it is. It's over here. And I want to find 40 inches. Well, look at that. Come over to here just to double check. We're about 1/4 inch high here. Another 1/4 inch high there. We are 3/8 of an inch there. So when I install these cabinets, I'm going to install them on this line here, and there will be a 1/4 inch gap between the top of the cabinets and the ceiling, except at that end. Last winter I did the $100,000 remodel, the same case. I did the exact same way. Measured down around the entire kitchen where the cabinets were connected and had a 1/4 inch gap that I had to hold down. It's very normal for that. That gap gets covered up by some crown molding later on.
Way on down the road.
I thought about putting a ledger up just because I got this thing to work with. I'm going to start off not doing that. I'm going to use this guy here. So I'm going to mark out this laser line, and then I got to mark out my studs. I know I've got my blocking behind here that goes all the way up to about there. That'll give me a good screwing here. There's a double step back here. I think a double step back here. Am I 16 inches over? I can see the previous level. I have all my studs laid out. This area here got a little funky. There's like some sort of steel plate in the wall here. But I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've yet to figure out these ones for the cabinet that goes over the sink here. I did find that these screws with that tip there can penetrate without too much destruction the plaster walls. There's a bit of blowout, but it works like a drill bit. Quick announcement. This Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time, I'll be doing a live stream on the Handyman Business channel. Just like I did on the last estimate, I'm going to do a live stream discussing the information that I have. Then after the estimate, there's going to be a second live stream where I give you the real experience. I can't go in there and film it. Thought about putting a mic on, but that's just a little creepy. The second live stream will give you what actually happened. If you can't make the live stream, they all go to my Patreon page. There'll be a link in the description for that. All the old live streams way back when I used to do all these late night live streams, they're on the Patreon page. It's really messy. I got yellow over there. Ooh, bit. Okay. Let that over. Man, this 20 volt Max XR really does a good job of blasting these in there, and I really think that that tip also helps. One down, 4 to go. I'm facing off this way, which usually looks a lot through. You can put shoes up there. As I go across, I'm going to try to keep all the screws at the same height, just in case someone opens up all the cabinet doors with no dishes in them. They see a line of screws that are the same height. It really doesn't matter in the long run. No one's ever going to look at those screws ever again. I still got to put more screws in this one. Remember that big backing board I had up here? That gets screws. So this one cabinet will have 1, 2, 3. It'll have a lot of screws in it. Don't know what they're putting in here. Probably overkill. You tell I'm in a good mood. I hope everybody else out there is in a good mood. I got my clamps ready. My BZ clamps. You'll see how these work. Link will be in the description to this tool, as well as the third hand. Don't forget to go buy them. Buy them for your Christmas present for yourself. Meditation. Yeah. Really? Can't go high with it for some reason. Really high. Well, this is stable. I gotta switch gears, and I will be screwing the face frames together. I probably should get 3 of these. What I'll do is I will screw this one together, Then move the clamp up to right here. Ideally, you want your screws concealed behind the hinges. In the long run, I really don't think it matters. On white frame cabinet, they show a lot more. But on your standard wood cabinet, those gold screws blend right in. So I'm going to put more screws in here. How do I do that? I look under here where my lines are, and then I measure to the side of the cabinet. And I can see this side down here. So I need to know, I go 10.5 inches off this side here, and I'll put 3 more screws. Nice. There. There. My wife made me this magnificent, look at that sandwich. Tuna in a sandwich with a ton of bread. Now, I won't eat this all in one sitting. I'll probably want to take a nap after that. But a few bites, and I'll get back to work. And I mix in a little peanut butter and jelly with that, and sweeten up my blood sugar a little bit. Thanks. Okay, this is the next cabinet, and I don't have the frame attached to the carcass. How to use proper terminology on the internet. So I'm going to show you how I clamp it up and screw it together. Brought some extra socks today, just for this occasion. So I've got a 3/4 inch piece of scrap plywood underneath it. That gives me my proper spacing. This side here will get skinned, and I've accounted for that when I built the frame. Woo! Hold on. Been doing good so far. I haven't scratched them. Probably should take my belt off too. Then you would be getting more than a home improvement show. Getting woozy. There we go. Losing track of what I'm doing. Oh, that's what do the old men call that? That there is tits. We're good now. We're in the involved. What the fuck is this? There it is. See, free from. There's the importers. I'll get a little bit. Check in. Well, we can push it. This is a real groovy area. I'm gonna plate. I'm gonna go high right here. Loose. That's funky. And then. Oh yeah. Hey. One more. One more. Good. And I'm gonna next. Oh, what the heck is I'm gonna next? Just put this one together. It's going up. Yay! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh! You can't get it. What the fuck is that? Oh, I'm video. Ooh, where's the slime, man? I want you to go watch a video that I made last January, a $100,000 kitchen remodel. You can see me install someone else's cabinets. Cabinets that I didn't make. They look identical. Quite proud of these. They went in perfect. I gotta go and clean all my fingerprints off. I've washed my hands twice while installing these, trying to keep my smudges off of them. I know you probably want to see them with the doors on. Subscribe, click that bell so you get notified when the next video comes out. which, if I can keep up this pace, will be tomorrow. Tomorrow's video is going to be related to this kitchen, but it's also something that you can do in your house right now. I know a lot of you need this. Most of you need this. It's a simple project you can do at home. You can do it in your garage to improve your home.